In the far reaches of the galaxy, a civilization is under siege.
We are all that is left.
They've searched the universe for a leader.
Stay tuned for scenes from next week's Galaxy Quest.
Never give up, never surrender.
He will save us!
What they got
Never give up and never surrender.
were struggling TV actors.
You are our last hope.
Where's my limo?
Okie dokie.
And they're about to put on a command performance 8 million light years away.
We are actors, not astronauts.
You are our protectors.
That was a hell of a thing.
Now,
Laredo, take us out. You gotta move to the right.
Would you sit your ass down? You want to drive this thing?
acting like heroes.
The whole thing was just a misunderstanding.
May not be enough.
They look like little children. Hi, little guy.
I'm done.
DreamWorks Pictures presents Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman, Galaxy Quest.
You're just gonna have to kill him.
Well, go for the mouth, the throat, his vulnerable spots.
It's a rock. It doesn't have any vulnerable spots.
What's going on, fellow Questarians? We are going on a journey to far off places. Our movie for the week is the 1999 movie Galaxy Quest, voted number 7 in top 12 Star Trek movies. The only one that was a write-in for it. Believe it. That's how good this movie is. All right. It came out on Christmas Day in 1999. It had a budget of $45 million, and it made $90 million worldwide. It got a 7.4 on IMDb, 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, 90% on Google, and damn it, I forgot to look what the Walmart.com was, but I'm sure it was a 5 out of 5 because this is right up Walmart's alley. Okay, it stars Sigourney Weaver as Gwen DeMarco / Tawny Madison, Tim Allen as Jason Nesmith / Peter Quincy Taggart, Alan Rickman as Alexander Dane / Dr. Lazarus, Sam Rockwell's Guy Fleegman, can never get his name right, / crewman number 6, Tony Shalhoub as Fred Kwan / Tech Sergeant Chen, Daryl Mitchell as Tommy Weber / Lieutenant Laredo, Justin Long in his first feature film debut as Brandon, Rainn Wilson, good old Dwight, as Link, and Enrico Colatoni as Malthazar. And I forgot to write down who Saris is, but you would never know what he looked like anyway because of all the prosthetics for the alien. So, has everybody seen this movie before?
It's my first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. My first time.
Jose's first time too? Was it yours, Nate, or did you seen it before, right?
I have this movie. I've seen it like 72 times.
Yeah, right? That's right. So.
All I'm going to say is I'm going to buy it.
Yeah?
He hasn't even bought Forbidden Planet or any of the other movies he says he's going to buy. A big phony.
Well, I need to find them for like $10 or less. You know, cheap.
That's okay. That's how
And
we
you're
found
also
ours.
frozen.
So, well, I don't even know where to go with this movie because this movie is great. This movie is, everybody wants to couch it as a Star Trek like movie, but it's got a whole bunch of other little like slight homages and stuff like in it that I just caught this time around that I didn't catch the first 800 million times I had seen before then. And reading it with subtitles was also great because there's some lines that I didn't catch either. So that was a lot of fun. So what are your first thoughts, Isaac, seeing that this is the first time you've seen this movie? What'd you think?
So when I first saw the movie being advertised many years ago, I thought it was like a Star Trek type film, and I didn't really care to watch it. And I liked all the actors in it. It's just it wasn't something that I didn't really care. I'm not a big Star Trek fan. I've never watched Star Trek either. I'm Star Wars, so it didn't seem all. So when I saw this movie finally, I was hooked from the very beginning, and I liked it. And I was like, why didn't I watch this movie? This movie is really good, and it has a really big following. And I remember in one of our loot crates, we got one of those patches for the Galaxy Quest. And I was like, yeah, dumb movie. And I just tucked it away, but I'm going to go find that and put that on my backpack for the next con.
All right.
I liked it. It was a good movie. Good pick. You always pick the fun movies.
Jose, same question since you're the first time around.
You could start a whole channel with the amount of movies I haven't watched. And, I've heard of like Spaceballs, and like the references to Star Wars are very they're very obvious. And so I was thinking like, man, if this is gonna be like a Star Trek thing, I haven't watched almost any Star Trek, so I don't know if I'm gonna get it. But what I like is that it is I guess you could say satire or a comedy or a riff on science fiction, like as a genre, and the convention culture and things like that. So that's something I could definitely relate to. And it just cracked me up because they make it so like the questions for women are always so like, how did you get your boobs in that costume? And the men are more introspective, like, and it just rips on that whole culture, which I want to say is gone now, but I don't know. I haven't attended many panels, so I'm not sure what kind of ridiculous questions the women get. But what I do like about it is that you don't need to have I think it helps if you have some prior knowledge to like Star Trek and little things here and there. But all in all, you can sit down and watch this movie not knowing anything about Star Trek, Star Wars, anything like that, and still have a really, really, really good time and a lot of laughs watching it. And what's Alan Rickman, dude, just killed it, dude. That voice is so perfect. And I was just, oh my God, man. It was a great pick. It was a great pick, man. I was so happy watching it. It made me crack up. Plus, I was in my own galaxy when I was watching it, so it was even better.
About the aliens. What the hell's going on? All right, Nate. Old hat. This is what, your 500 millionth time like me, or just 5?
No, I've seen it a bunch of times, and it's the kind of movie where if I'm flipping through the channels and this one's on, you stop and keep watching it. So, if you add all the fractions of times to it, then that's quite a bit too. And I always have a good time. You enjoy the satire with it, and I remember when this had first come out, the original Star Trek crews were starting to get their just to the point to where they were starting to snap at the conventions and things like that as well. So it was like art imitating life, imitating art, imitating life again. And I think in a similar lane, the Orville did it pretty well as well. Seth MacFarlane's Orville, they did a good take on a Star Trek parody. But it was solid. It was solid. The aliens were good. Everybody everything just seemed to fit and seemed to flow, and there wasn't any excess. And the music actually matched what was going on, so that was nice.
That's right. I knew how to pick this one. All right. What'd you take away from this time around?
Well, like you said, we watched it this time with the subtitles on, which has become like my new favorite thing to do with movies that I've seen dozens of times. Sometimes you miss out on dialogue that's going on the background, but I think with the copy that we have, I don't know if we picked it up at Walmart, but I think sometimes they were actually getting the dialogue wrong. That was the the jarring thing that I noticed about it. I'm like, that's not what he said. But I've always enjoyed everybody in this film. I think my favorite though is still Sam Rockwell as crewman number 6. His spot in the film is like this. I guess you would call him the plucky comic relief. He's outstanding. It's one of my favorite roles of his.
Well, that was going to be my next question, so you already answered it.
Well, I can also say, if that's your question about favorite character or something, I also am a big fan of the villain Saris. He's like bloodthirsty and vicious and doesn't give two craps about nothing. And unlike the Thermians, he recognizes the actors for what they are and takes a great deal of joy in the fact that the Thermians think that those are historical documents rather than just some goofy sci-fi show, And the fact that he laughs and uses that as a means to further torture his adversaries is fantastic. He's a great villain.
All right. Next question. Isaac, favorite character?
It's gonna have to be Gwen.
Gwen
Sigourney Weaver. Sigourney Weaver's so hot.
There's a fun fact about this. She wanted this role really bad. Originally, the director was supposed to be Harold Ramis, but Harold Ramis took himself off the project because he didn't want Tim Allen as the lead actor. He wanted to cast, I think it was
He wanted
Alec
Steve
Baldwin.
Martin. He wanted like an actual
it was
comedic.
Steve Martin and Alec Baldwin, and somebody else was put up for the role instead, and he wanted it. And they're like, no, we want Tim Allen. And he's like, well, I'm going to bounce. But then Sigourney Weaver saw that he was leaving, but she went to the director and says, can I still be in it? I want to be blonde. I want to have the big boobs. I want to play that character because at that point, she hadn't really played that kind of a character in a sci-fi movie before. So, yeah.
So yeah,
Sorry,
I like
go
how
ahead.
she took on her own role, and she was like, she got on the ship, and she's like, "Well, this is my job," and she's like repeating the ship and everything else. Pretty funny, and she was pretty comedic. And when they're going through that one room that's being crushed, and she's like, all the writers whoever wrote this episode should die, and she's just going on about how terrible that episode was. Yeah, she was funny. I really enjoyed her.
Jose, favorite character?
Like I said, dude, it was Alan Rickman. That was very obvious, like supposed to be what, like a play on Leonard Nimoy or something, or what was it like? Yeah, right. Okay, cool. So see, I'm happy I got it. I'm not too smart in the Star Treks, but I caught that. And it was just something, I don't know, man. It was just seeing him in that makeup, and it's just like, I hate this line. Like everything about the character, man. He just did it so well. Tim Allen was cool. I think I remember Tim Allen from the whole Home Improvement thing. So seeing him act was something different. It was pretty, like the fact that he's hung over, doesn't realize he's actually been taken away from Earth. On the whole thing is pretty hilarious. But if I had to just select one, it would be Alan Rickman.
I grabbed bar summer. What a savings. Anyway, okay, Nate, favorite character?
Oh man, see, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel now, huh? Unless I get redundant. Let's see now.
Redundant for different reasons.
It was Gwen. It was Gwen. Sigourney Weaver was super hot in this. In fact, this is the first time I thought that she was hot, and I had been seeing her in movies for 20 years previously. I always thought she was kind of like a pirate's treasure when she was in the Alien movies and whatnot. You guys know what a pirate's treasure is?
No.
A sunken chest.
I thought it was booty.
Yeah, well, there you go. See, she did have booty in the Alien movies, but I was just like, wow, I didn't. But yeah, no, she did it well. She pulled it off, and which is crazy, right? That so many girls start off being the blonde-haired TNA, and then they want to go get a role to be serious. And she spent her whole career being serious, and she's like, I want to be the blonde with the big boobs. It's
she was adamant that she had to be blonde. They had to make give her the big old chest, and the chest had to be exposed for most of the movie. She was.
And it seemed like anytime
that.
she ran by and she got a chance to like,
yeah. She would do that on purpose. So there's like on our DVD extra, it has like the behind the scenes, and that was the thing. Is that every time all the guys would say every time she came into the room, she led with her chest like in every scene. She wanted to get those suckers out there.
Yeah, no, she was it.
Mine's actually Tony Shalhoub. I like Tech Sergeant Chen. Like, he's the kickback, like, stoner kind of guy that just doesn't give a crap. He's always got his little bag of goodies and treats that he's eaten along the way. And yeah, I'm partial to Tony Shalhoub, though, and he does a lot of characters that I like over the years. But I liked him as Tech Sergeant Chen.
The whole bit where they all get transported up and then he shows up and he's like, oh, that was a hell of a thing. And he just walks right off and he's like, what's wrong with them?
Yeah, the comedic timing in this movie is
pretty
brilliant.
Good.
Like
good.
It's perfectly spaced and how it's done, and yeah. All right. How about this? Favorite or worst scene, or both? Is there a worst scene in this movie? I personally say no, but I'm just one vote here, so. Favorite scene?
The worst scene is when they show the video of them torturing the previous leader of the aliens. Everybody acts like it's this horrible thing, but they don't really show it. So I was like left to my imagination there. That's the worst. Favorite. You know when they beam the rock monster onto the ship? That was pretty cool.
Grignac.
That was the alien homage when he blows out the side and then the alien like floats away. That's when she, like in the first Alien, when she blows.
And also Sam Rockwell on the planet, when they're like, "Oh, let's go talk to the things." Like, no, those are the things that are gonna be crazy, try to eat us. Like,
because I don't know how it's gonna happen, but they're gonna get real ugly and real scary.
And there's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah. He said, no, don't do that. Don't you guys watch the show?
We got to get out of here before one of these things eats Guy. Sorry. Okay. Isaac, favorite?
Well, that was my favorite scene.
Sorry. I get excited.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say, I love how Sam Rockwell was like, I'm going to die if I go with you guys. Why did I come with you guys? Damn it. So I don't even have a last name because I'm not supposed to be here. But yeah, that whole scene going into it, coming out of it, it was fantastic.
He's like holding her hand. Jose.
When they get onto the when they get onto the main area, and then the what is it? They God, what's his name? The navigator guy.
Oh, Tommy?
Gary Coleman?
Yeah, when he sits down and goes through the introduction. Yeah, and he's doing the introduction, and the guy's like, oh. He's like, haha, would suck to be the captain. But I'd hate to be that guy. And then they're like, take us away, Captain, or take us away. And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, take us away. He's like, oh man, I barely figured this thing out. And he's trying to like to actually control the ship without real like it's like you said, the comedic timing was pretty well because it turns the table and it puts the whole thing on him. And he's just jittery as hell trying to get to navigate the ship. And when they welcome in, it's like, oh, a few of the crew crew members wanted us to be here. Like, what did it? Or what the hell was that called? Yeah, dude, it was. Man, it was. Yeah, that one. And then I was a sucker for the ending. I was wondering how they were gonna end it. I was like, how are they gonna do this? Like, is it gonna be like everybody sees them as real heroes? But I thought it was pretty well done. Like the whole crashing at a convention. It's like, how many of these conventions are there? It's like, but like specifically for the show. But that was cool, and getting the reboot and all that stuff. I was like, oh, I was a sucker for a good happy ending. I was like, that's cool. Reminded me of a lot of you remember Mark Millar's Starlight back in like I forgot who drew that. That was it reminded me like that, like coming home, being the hero again, and just like it was cool. I like that crew deck one.
think of like one of my favorite scene out of this movie because like I said, I like it from the opening credits to the end credits and everything in between. But yeah, I think it's when the second time they go up there and Saris gets on the screen and he's like, okay, hold on 1 second. Let me get you, let me put it in a box for you. So, and he goes, Gwen. And she's like, okay. You know, she does the thing like, whatever. And he's doing all his like spiel about, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. He's as ugly as he is stupid. And so telling him all these names. And he's like, okay, Gwen, put me back on. She's like, Jason, that's what I've been telling you this whole time. He's like, I gave you the kill switch. She goes, no, you gave me we're dead switch, and I was agreeing with you. Like, I mean, the lines in this is just, it's fantastic. And yeah, and the chompers, when they first get to see the chompers, I don't know if it's on every cut, but on our DVD thing, when they come around the corner, they obviously bleeped it out because she says, fuck this. Like you could see her mouth that. But they
said,
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, she says, "Fuck this," because in the behind the scenes they did that scene and she cursed and they weren't expecting her to do that, and so they weren't going to give it I think it has a PG-13 rating.
Yeah, you drop an F-bomb and it pushes the envelope to the higher.
Yeah, so that would have pushed it too far. So. Did you already say like your favorite scene?
No, but I mean, there's so many scenes to choose from. But I think some of the scenes that are down on the planet when they're collecting the spare beryllium sphere, those scenes are great. The particular scene where Tim Allen's character is like giving everybody orders, like, oh, we're going to create a perimeter, and you're going to give a signal, and this and that and the other, and then Alan Rickman's like, why are we taking orders from this guy? Need I remind you he's wearing a costume, not a uniform? He's no better qualified to lead us than this fellow. No offense.
Episode 81. That's the one where I die.
That's episode 81. That's the one I die. He gets all freaked out about it. Yeah. Like, yeah. How about I do this? Caw. What are you, an infant? We have these. He's
and keep in mind, that's what he ends up doing at the end. They're running down the hill. He's like, caw.
Oh, so
things like that.
And, you know, the ending of the movie is great, too, because then at the end, you know, when they're, like, doing the intro to the new show, when they reboot the show, and then Sam Rockwell's character comes in. Now he's got a name, Lieutenant Security Chief Rock Ingersoll. And he's like, gives a little...
He's got that big, like, NES protector medallion.
Oh, yeah,
like
medallion. His,
He's
like,
got
shirt's
the
all
patch.
open and everything. Fantastic.
All right, well, let's get down to the brass tacks buckets here. Isaac, bucket us.
9 buckets. It was fun. It was exciting. Sigourney Weaver was hot. And I like how it made a riff on the conventions. And I've been there many times and I've experienced those type of fans that are wild. So yeah, good stuff. 9 buckets.
Let's be honest, you were one of those fans, huh?
I've never asked those kind of crazy ass questions, and I don't really care to meet celebrities. Like, they're people just like you and me. I'm more of a meeting like the artists and the writers.
This is true. I witnessed it firsthand. Robert Downey Jr. was standing next to us, and Isaac farted and walked away. I said, "Dog, that's Robert Downey Jr." He's like, "I don't care."
He puts his pants on one leg at a time, and he lifts his one cheek at a time too, huh?
He has to sit down when he poos, just like me.
That's right.
And he's like, and he gets crop dusted just like everybody else.
Jose, bucket us.
Man, I really want to, and I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10.
What? You got Latino.
But you cut out right when you said your number. That was good.
Yes.
Put your fingers up. Yay! All All right.
Show us the gums.
Nate, what do you got for the buckets?
Well, I mean, we break it down. The acting was great. The story was great. You know, even though it's an older movie, the effects still all held up. There wasn't any type of breakdown. I don't think that you could remake it today and have it be any more flashy. No bells or whistles could come out from a remake on this movie. And as far as cultural relevance goes, this movie, to anybody who's a fan of Star Trek, puts this in the echelon of Star Trek. So for me, and I like it. So it's got all the ingredients to be a 10. It's a 10 for me.
Look, this movie is no doubt.
Here we go.
It's among the best. Look, it's among the best movies out there. But is it on the epic scale? I don't know if I can go there for a comedy flick. So I'm going to go with a 9.
Fuck you! Get out of here. All right. So Josh and I are getting a divorce. You saw it here first on Late to the Party, Galaxy Quest Edition. I, of course, will give it a 10 out of 10. It's got everything. It's got great acting, great story. It's relevant, all of it. It's all there, and that's why it still stands the test of time. You know, I could probably show it to Lucas and he'll enjoy it just because of the fun. He may not understand all of the little nuances, but he's still gonna find it a fun, entertaining, goofy kind of movie. It's all around good times.
Well, even that when you say goofy, there was still some like legit. It wasn't funny because of fart noises or funny faces.
No, it was funny because it's
the situation. Yeah, it's good comedic. You know, when it's like those, I don't know, fart jokes and those things aren't as funny. But it had something to it. It has a soul, real comedy. Yeah. So for sure.
Well, and it had its drama moments too. You know, when Dr. Lazarus has to talk to the Queelik, you know, as he's dying and all that stuff, and does it. It was just like even the over dramatic nature of Alan Rickman still brought. It could have been like a really poorly done, like heroic moment, but no, because of the way he was able to do it. And yeah, that was good. I love it. 10 out of 10
sure.
for me. So thank you all for watching. I think we're going to give it to Isaac, right? Because we skipped everybody in between.
I believe it's Isaac's turn, yes.
So Isaac, take us away like Helion.
We're going back same year, 1999, and we're going to watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
All right. That's like the only like musical that Josh likes.
It's barely a musical.
That's why he likes it.
So yeah, the Coen brothers.
All right.
Have you seen it, Jose?
You're a paterfamilias and you still haven't seen it? What's wrong with you? All right. Well, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you guys all next week.